Hello everyone, we're obviously having a little bit of difficulties here for some reason. Oh, it's because there's a lot of people requesting to join. So it's very difficult for us to... Hopefully this works. This could be the wrong person. Yes. I thought this might be
Finally.
someone else. I thought this might be someone else. There's,
Oh
there's
man,
so
this
many people requesting. You can't see what's going on.
yeah. This Instagram thing is not a piece of cake for anyone, man. It's just so difficult to uh, get used to that.
You should have seen me and Kane Williamson the other day. It was 25 minutes. He's never used Instagram in his life.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine.
And I think Roger Federer and Rafa Nadal the other day were like an hour trying to work out how they could talk to each other on this.
Yeah,
It's awesome. What's been happening?
yeah, not much, David. Just we're under a immense strict lockdown.
Yep.
So been just home for the past 45 days now.
Yeah.
Sitting home doing not much actually. Just doing live chats with people who I know the best.
Mate, it's been exactly the same here. It's been very challenging. Not it's bizarre. Like being told you can't play like cricket. Like if you get dropped, okay, you understand. But like to be told by the government you can't leave your house, you have to stay indoors. You got to, you know, work out how to survive.
Yeah.
It's totally bizarre. But everyone's in the same situation. It's crazy.
But at least I read in the news today, Australia is easing the lockdown a little bit, where you can go to restaurants, cafes, uh, and you can still go outdoors. Here we can't even go outdoors except buying groceries, which to me is a bit strange right now
That's
because I have
crazy.
no idea what to buy in groceries. No idea.
I
I have
was
no
I
idea.
was just reading, and I apologize to all the Indian fans there, but alcohol has got a surcharge now, big time in India, and they're going to deliver to
Yes.
people's houses.
Yeah, you
It's
saw what
crazy.
happened the first day when they opened the liquor shops here. Oh, jeez. Went crazy here, man. People were queuing up. There was about 2 kilometers, uh, you know, uh, big queue. People waiting for people to buy alcohol, and they shut it in 1 day's time because they. I mean, it's crazy because so many people are out on the roads, and there are chances people might get infected because of that.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I know people who haven't traveled to India wouldn't understand that some places are a dry state, and you actually have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
apply for a certificate to actually drink alcohol.
yeah. Absolutely, man. How's your family?
Um,
Family good?
family good. How's Ritika and Samara?
Yeah,
Good.
they're good, man. They're chilling. They're home. They're happy to have me home. So that's good. Uh, I got to spend my birthday, which was a couple of weeks back, with them at home.
That's
I've been,
beautiful.
yeah, never been around on my birthday as well with them. So finally got to stay home with them, spend some time with them, which was good.
And I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand, that when you have, if you have family or not, you actually miss a lot of different things that, you know, whether it's weddings or birthdays or even Mother's Day. This is my first time home for Mother's Day in a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
They're little things that we miss.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Being with the family is so important. Sometimes it's hard to explain when we are out there playing that family is so important for us because when we grow up in India, it's actually like that. When we grow up, we say cricket is life,
Yeah.
but there's so much beyond that. Your cricket finishes when you're what 38, 39. I don't know when will you finish, but I'll certainly finish much before that. But so there's actually much more than that. When you get married, when you have family, you realize the importance of that a lot more. When you are
Oh, definitely.
when you're single, when you're just playing, you don't think about that much. But now being with them, spending so much time with them, I realize how important it is. And they need us more than anything else. They need our support. They need us to be around to make sure that they are comforted as well. I'm sure it's
Yeah,
the same with you. Yeah, you've got three beautiful daughters, and you've got a beautiful wife, and uh, I'm pretty sure it's so hard for Candice to be without you managing three kids. I know we have only one right now, and I know how difficult it is for Ritika when I'm not around. So I can't even imagine how it is like for Candice.
yeah. Look, it obviously has its challenges, but I think the best thing for us is I look at the Ashes for myself coming home. I always had a smile on my face because you got your family there. It was good.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah, yeah,
blessing.
absolutely.
It's a
Yeah,
blessing. But
yeah, it's
but
beautiful, man.
but as we say this time at the moment, we'll be playing over there. We'll be playing IPL.
Yeah,
Um, I do have a couple of questions for you though. I'll go back to I think was it 2014. I want you to explain to me as a captain of a franchise,
yeah.
you lose five in a row. How do you motivate the guys to come back from five in a row and then you turn around and win seven out of the next nine and then you win the whole thing?
That was pretty tough. I remember we were going through really tough times. We were facing a lot of pressure from the spectators. You know how people in India, especially Mumbai, they're quite passionate about cricket over here. And then the franchisee as well. Our franchisee owners, they're quite passionate as well about the game. So there was a lot of pressure. I still remember we were in Dubai for the first 5 games, and then we had head back to India. The 5 games in Dubai, we lost all the
Yep.
games, and then luckily for me, I had Ponting around the team. I'm sure no better person than you to explain that to understand that, because you know what impactful person he is when he's around the group. Uh,
Yeah, definitely.
I was watching your the series on Amazon, the test,
Yep.
and he was around with you guys during the World Cup, and I could think back and start imagining how he was. He was pretty much the same. Motivating the youngsters around the guys, just feeling one of us, not the coaching staff. So he was doing the same things, and more
Yep.
than one uh, good thing that stuck out was about Ponting was he was only going to go and talk to the younger guys. He was not worried so much about the senior players in the squad. He was trying to make sure that all the youngsters in the squad are very well, staying in that mental zone and not worrying about anything else. They
Yep.
were keep. His idea was to make sure that the youngsters don't drift away so much.
Yep.
I'm sure the senior guys will take care of itself, but it's the younger guys who I need to look after, and that's what he exactly did. And from once we returned to Mumbai, things changed. I remember he gave us that pep talk in Mumbai once we came to Mumbai, and everything changed around that. You know,
Yeah, that's good. I think you hit the nail on the head. He's a very passionate guy, and he'll always leave it upon the senior players to understand what they do because you can't change guys who have been playing for 5 to 10 years international cricket. He's played it, he's lived it, and now he's
yeah,
coaching it. It's about the younger guys coming along with the experienced players to say, hey, there's always hope and belief, and that's one thing I think the same as with having Sachin around or whether it's I think Viru with me at Delhi,
yeah,
having these guys around, it's a bit of an energy boost for younger guys, and the same with you coming into a Indian cricket team with all
yeah,
those superstars, and I came in at the same time. Like I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm actually playing with these guys now. How do we act around these guys? What's right? What's wrong? But you're trying to establish yourself as a cricketer, and you're good enough to be there.
yeah. Absolutely. I think a lot of these guys have made a great impact. Uh, on the team, whichever team they've been part of. And especially, IPL, what IPL has done to all the cricketers is, getting to know all these guys from various parts of the world, getting to know their culture, getting to understand what they do as a player. And for us, it's been fascinating to know all you guys. When you're playing for your country, it's a totally different ball game. But when you come here, a lot of the guys here get to learn so much from each other. Because they
Yeah.
watch you guys, and they see you prepare yourself before the game, what you like to do, what you don't like to do, how much time you spend in the gym and things like that. So IPL in a way has done wonders to world cricket, not just Indian cricket, but also to many other guys, many other cricketers in the world.
Oh, one thing I did notice when I came to the IPL my first time, how much cricket balls you Indian cricketers hit. Like so many balls. And like I know here,
Yeah,
we'll probably get a good half an hour to an hour of throwdowns, but the resources you have with guys available to net bowl to you, I could
yeah.
spend 6 hours there.
Yeah, because I mean, IPL, the tournament itself is very well planned, and all this franchisee, they take this 2 months very seriously because they want to win this championship. So I'm sure all the franchisee, they start preparing well before the tournament starts, and that includes all these things: managing net bowlers, managing the practice facilities, getting your players to come, to the city a lot earlier than the tournament starts. So those things, I think, I don't know about Sunrisers, but Mumbai has done that pretty well in the last few years. They've gotten their players quite early, and
Yeah.
there's a little 10 days camp that we try and held before the tournament starts. So just for the newer guys to get used to the staff, the players as well. So it's very important. Uh, I When IPL started, I played for that city, Hyderabad, but it's a different name now. But the city is the same. I remember how passionate people are in Hyderabad as well. Like
Yep.
I remember we were playing the finals last year, CSK and Mumbai, and
Yep.
they were going berserk shouting Sunrisers, the Orange Army, which was, which shows, people there are quite supportive, and they get behind their team, which was amazing to see. It's something that doesn't happen every time, but it was great to see, and there were orange jerseys in the stadiums, which was good. It's
It
quite a
is.
passionate city to be part of.
And I think the reasoning behind that as well is because someone called Rohit Sharma took a hat trick and scored 100 for Deccan against Mumbai.
Yeah. I can't believe that, man. I seriously cannot believe I took a hat trick against Mumbai when I was playing for Hyderabad. It just, uh, I don't even remember how I used to bowl them. It's just unfortunate. I got a finger injury, and then I cannot grip the ball properly.
Yeah.
So I stopped it. And these days, it's better to stay away from bowling.
Well, it still remains you're the only Indian, and I think Shane Watson's the only international player to do that.
Oh, shit. If I think of it now, it's quite embarrassing, man, that I took a hat trick. Oh, shit.
It surprised me when I saw it. I was like, couldn't remember last time you ever bowled.
And they're decent batters as well. I remember first one was JP Dumini. Second one was
LBW or court?
it was caught behind, leg side. Gilly was wicket keeping. He took a great catch.
Yep.
And then the second one was Abhishek Nair. Third one was Harbhajan Singh. I'm pretty sure that he underestimated me. He just wanted to come and swing the bat, but he missed it.
Budgie.
But yeah, but clean bowl.
Was that when you guys won in South Africa?
Yeah,
Yeah.
2009. Yeah.
I
I used
remember.
to bowl a lot back then. I used
Yeah.
to bowl a lot. I wanted to ask you the same thing. If you remember, we played under 19 together when you guys toured India. I think Usman was captain. Usman
Yeah.
or Moses Henrik. I don't remember. Either one was leading the side.
Yeah.
And you were a middle order batsman. You used to bat at 6 or 7, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And you used to bowl a handy leg spinner and
Yeah.
a gun fielder. That I know. I still remember that. How did that transition happen for you, when you started opening the batting, now dominating all three formats?
That's where someone asked me the other day, where's my favorite place to play in India? And I say the most picturesque place is Dharamshala.
Yeah.
And I remember vividly playing there,
Yeah.
and I was bowling leg spin, and I remember Warney not having a great record there. And like as a leg spinner, I think you got to bowl faster. Like, you look at Mishra. I remember Rahul Sharma. I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
to,
yeah.
obviously Rashid. But like, I don't know. It was bizarre. I started at middle order. I was sort of like coming in at the middle, sort of back end of innings. And then like in 2009, Dominic Thornley, who played a handful of games for Australia, he was
Yeah,
captaining New South Wales,
yeah, yeah,
and Philip Hughes was opening the batting at the time, and
yeah.
we were chasing a small total against Tasmania, and then I go in the change room. I just go to take off my clothes, get ready, and then obviously go and watch the boys chase. And he said, "You're opening," and I was like, "Okay, I'll open the batting then." So I went out and opened the batting, and me and Hughesy ended up both getting hundreds. And then I was told the next game I'm opening the batting in a T20 game against Sean Tate, and I was just like,
Oh,
"No thanks."
yeah,
Like, you don't know what to think. So like, I just automatically said, "Okay, yes, well I have to. I've got no choice." I end up scoring some runs the next game, and then it flowed on from there. And then like my bowling just didn't really progress. I didn't really put more energy or emphasis into my game. I then all of a
yeah,
sudden turned into an opening batter, and then all of a sudden I'm walking out at the MCG in front of 90,000 people against South Africa.
yeah, yeah. I saw that game. I saw that. I still
And then
remember that.
literally I'm there like you're pinching yourself, going, what's going on here? Like it was so bizarre how it all unfolded from. I think it was 2006. I think we played you guys
Yeah,
in
2000.
India,
Yeah,
and
I
I
think it
and
was 2006 or five.
yeah, it was one of them, and like it was crazy. Like I was like, man, the ball's spinning so much. How can you ever play here? Like, and then I'm thinking
Yeah,
nowadays, I'm thinking, all right, if I go back to India, I want to bat in the middle because it spins conventionally. Open the
yeah,
batting
yeah.
with a new ball, man.
Yeah, you never know
Batting
which one is turning, which one is coming in.
it's crazy. Like it's so second innings, I find like so tough because obviously Ash has got good control where he goes over the ball, but as a batsman, people don't realize you can't see that far down the wicket where he's actually if he's going like this or if he's going like that.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. And with the new ball and it's skidding on, that's why I bet you would have hated facing Haranga Harath. You
Yeah, I
could
mean,
never.
that's people, that's when, all these coaches, when they come and say, please watch his hand, please watch his hand. It's not so easy to watch his hand. It literally happens in 1 second.
Yeah,
The bowler releases the ball literally within a second. And it's very hard to judge, where, and these days the bowlers are very smart.
yeah,
They don't try and release the ball through the seam, like except the test matches where all the conventional spinners they bowl with the seam, but in limited overs, they don't. And in India,
no,
the problem is even the spinners, when the ball gets so roughed up, you don't see the seam so clearly. So
no,
it's
no,
hard.
no,
Even in the nets when we bat, we often try and practice that, to try and see the fingers of the off spinner, the wrist of the leg spinner. But it's so tough. It's tough. It's not easy. Yes,
no.
in the textbook, it says that you have to always watch the bowler's hand, but it's not so easy, man. Especially guys like Rashid Khan and all. I mean, it's so fast. His action
Too
is so
fast.
quick. You can't even watch what he's trying to do.
You've almost got to like it's hard to describe to people like if you're playing 2020 cricket white ball, you think okay, it's probably going to slide on in the first six. But
Yeah,
with a finger spinner who can actually turn it both ways, you can only play on line. So like, if you're surviving, you're trying to get off strike. If you're not, and I don't know, I remember I think it was Livingston started slog sweeping Rashid in Jaipur, and he got a
yeah,
hold of him. And normally I wouldn't bowl Rash in the first six, but we had to because we were under the pump. So you go to one of your best bowlers. So what do you try and get a wicket, but people don't realize if you put pressure on bowlers,
yeah.
especially in the first six, you can get the upper hand. But after that, phew, it's
Oh
it's
yeah,
it's difficult. Once the ball gets older and it turns, where it does
yeah,
turn majority of places, except if you're batting second in Mumbai,
yeah, yeah.
it
It's
can
with
be
the dew and
it's
all.
challenging.
Yeah, with once the ball
How do
gets wet and
That's one like what's your mindset there? Like every single team batting second, you go to Mumbai 8 o'clock game. All right, you win the toss, you bowl first.
Yeah.
So what do you think as like as a captain in your mindset? How do you like say to the guys, or you probably don't need to say to the guys, all right, we've lost the toss. We're obviously,
Yeah.
we're going to be bowling second now. We have to bat well. 200 is obviously the total that you need to get. How do you what goes through your mind when you're applying your sort of your trade when you're out there?
I mean, yeah, the first thing, especially at Mumbai, you know, everyone's watching me at the toss. So when I'm tossing the coin, oh, sorry, I don't toss the coin. The opposition captain toss the coin. So when I'm at the in the center for the toss, I could see from my peripheral vision that okay, there are guys all over me. They're watching me. What is happening with the toss? Because the toss is so crucial, and when I lose the toss, they seriously like they feel that he's the worst guy in the world. They don't look at me. They don't talk to me for a second when I come back. But then yeah, that's when my job comes in. I get everyone together and just like we our preparation actually becomes starts much before that toss, before the
Yeah, yeah,
training session and things like that. I know it's important for the boys to know that toss is under no one's control. We can't control the toss. We have to play good cricket. And if you look at Mumbai's record, we have won a lot of games batting first
yeah,
at Wankhede, and that's mainly because of the plans, the strategy that we put in place before the games,
yeah,
and all the credit has to go to the coaching staff from where whether it was Ponting, Bond, and all these guys. They put in a lot of effort. Now Mahela is working with us, so these guys have put in a lot of effort to make sure that we get our plans right. Once we
yeah,
have the plans in place, you know, and in spite of that, you lose a game, it's fine. I mean, it happened to us when Chennai beat us last year. I think it was last year or year before last. Sorry, we got 160 and they were 50 for five or something. And Wayne Bravo came in and just started hitting, and he got the game away very easily. And we had
yeah,
guys like Bumrah and Mitch McClanahan bowling towards the end. So you couldn't expect like Bumrah will give so many runs towards the end, because he's done that pretty well. He's handled that situation pretty well in the end.
yeah,
But that was his off day, and Bravo got him that day,
yeah.
and it's just one of those days. And so that's what I mean. What I'm trying to say here is like plans have been put in place, but there are days where everything will not go according to the plan. So you don't get frustrated. You just get everything together, come back the next
Yeah.
day, and try focusing on that. Because at
Uh,
Wankhede, it's very easy to get uh, drifted away, because sometimes you will think, okay, we did everything right, but still we ended up on losing the game.
that's where like one place Boovy says he always likes bowling because the ball swings and nips around the first sort of 4 overs,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it's always challenging.
Bowlers are in the game at Wankhede for sure. The first few overs, if you pitch it in the right areas, there are chances you might, knock the batsman early. And then after the 6 overs as well, the spinners come into game when the
Yeah,
ball is a little dry, because you get good bounce. Sometimes it does turn there with the new ball as well. So,
yeah.
it's even contest at Wankhede, I feel. But on days where it's like absolutely belter and flat, there's not much to do for the bowlers except to just stay quiet in one place and keep bowling what you do.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit like Hyderabad as well sometimes. Like when you get on a
Yeah.
like it's actually bizarre because I think maybe the same as one caddy, but we know at Hyderabad if you use one side of the square, it's going to be absolute belter, and then the other
Yeah.
side of the square it might be 150, 160, and you have to work out how do you plan accordingly? Because usually we're giving away our tips here, but like on one wicket you go, right, well it's better to bat first,
Yeah.
and on the other side it's better to chase because
Yeah.
a lot of grounds are quite similar. Like I look at Kolkata, that's now one of the best batting wickets as well because
Yeah.
it's not like a big turner like it used to be.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't realize like we can't go out there and hit every ball for six. We're not
Yeah.
we're not we're
Can't.
not Hardik or we're not Andre. We can't do that.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
sometimes it's impossible. I think is that Budgie? Was that Budgie on there? Say something in Hindi.
Yeah. Say something in Hindi.
Me?
Yeah.
Tora
Of
Tora.
course, you. He's asking you.
I thought it was saying me is up kisse hai.
Okay, so that's good enough, man.
It's all the basics. I don't know too much in Hindi. We
But
all
yeah, I mean, you're doing quite well on TikTok.
man TikTok. That is
You're
my
really
daughter.
killing TikTok, man.
I'm gonna do one tomorrow. Me and my wife are gonna try another dance. Butta Bomba was one that we got told to do.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
s- I said I'll make a promise to the all the Indian fans. I'll try and do one a week. But man, some of these Tollywood and Bollywood dances, they're so hard to
Yeah.
learn.
What was
Look at our
this?
commercials.
There was this Tollywood, the Telugu movie song you did, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Butta Bomba.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. Did you?
Come on, man. You have to research these things.
Jesus. I'm hardly keeping up with Bollywood right now. I don't know if I'll keep up with Tollywood.
Yeah,
But
well, there's so many different like things out there. Like I didn't know what TikTok was. Like my daughter downloaded something like they were playing games and something just came up and I was like, what is this stuff? And she's like, it's TikTok. So I
yeah, okay.
scrolled through. I remember last year one of the cricketers was like, you got to watch this stuff. It's funny.
Yeah,
So I went on it. I looked at it. I said, all right, let's just put some smiles on people's faces. Take the Mickey out of myself, which is
yeah,
quite easy to do. But yeah, like it's a little bit of fun. And look, I don't know how long it will last, but hopefully once this pandemic's over,
yeah,
I think the ICC World Cup maybe that's in sort of it's probably not going to go ahead. I think by the looks of what's happening here, I think getting
yeah,
everyone into one spot's going to be difficult. But actually, that's what I was saying. I was reading today. It'll be to me. A lot of people talk to me about like what's our rivalry like, and I was like, it's when you walk on the field, it's completely different. When I walk
yeah,
on the field for Sunrisers, when you walk on the field for Mumbai, it doesn't matter if you've played with that person for X amount of years. You're playing for that team that you're in. So it's
yeah.
combat. It's combat mode. You're competitive.
Absolutely. Yeah,
It's passion. So
yeah,
it's one of those things. Like I love playing against India in India because everyone's against you, but it's the hardest conditions to play in for us. It's
yeah,
like when you guys come here, it's hard
yeah,
conditions for you because you're not used to it.
yeah,
So you've almost got this more motivation to succeed,
yeah.
but
No,
it's
that's why.
very
I mean,
difficult.
I personally love uh, playing against Australia. Whenever there's an opportunity to play against Australia, it's a different feeling. And last year when we were in Australia, uh, when we won the series, which has never happened before in the history of Indian cricket, it was good for us as a team. I know you guys were missing, but still, I mean, what the bowlers did there, what the batters did there for us was a great boost. And actually, we were quite looking forward to this year's tour as well. I hope somehow, both the boards, Australian board and Indian board, they somehow try and manage to do something and get this series underway, because it'll be great for the teams as well, firstly, but also great for people to start cricket with. That'll be a great
Mm.
series for people to watch, and that's a great way. Will be a great way to kick off, the cricket in the world if that happens. I don't know. IPL is likely to happen at some stage as well, but I have no idea about what uh, what date or what month it would be. Once everything settles down a little bit, probably will be a better idea for us to judge whether it is likely to happen or not. But I'm really looking forward to that Australian tour. Oh, I hope it really happens in Jan or Feb or whatever, whenever it is. I really hope that happens,
Yep.
because we love coming to Australia. We love playing against you guys. It's great contest with you guys. We know once we go to Australia, once we land in Australia, nothing comes easy. Uh, not just the runs or the wickets, but also when you are out, buying, out shopping or anything. Nothing comes easy there. So we love coming there, and it's one of my favorite places in the world, Australia. I love going to Australia.
The crazy thing is, when you guys come here, it's like we are playing an away game. Your supporters are crazy. Like
Gee,
they come out,
I know,
and
I know.
we absolutely love it. Like you get the Swami Army, you get the drums coming out. It's
Yeah,
one of the series I always look forward to, and that's one thing I like playing against England as well because of the Barmy Army. You've got
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
much external stuff. And people, it's not rude of me saying this, but when we're out playing a test match in the field, sometimes you're standing out there going, all right, when's the day going to finish?
yeah, yeah,
Especially if you're having a tough day, but everything just gets you through the day. And when everyone's up and about and whatnot, it's fantastic and it's awesome. And actually watching that series was quite challenging because you can't do anything. You can't help anyone. Your bowlers
yeah,
were on point. Like obviously we had some left-handers in the team where your guys, I think, hands down probably the best attack against left-handed batsmen in the world. Like
yeah. Just to
they
take
they
the ball
they
across.
they they zero in on one spot, and
Yeah,
very rarely do those three guys miss their spot.
yeah,
And it's a big credit to the way that you guys prepared as well. But mentally as well, like it was a great thing for obviously Indian cricket, as you said, but it was hard to watch. It was very, very hard to watch as an Australian cricket player because one, helpless. I couldn't do anything. Um, but I know the guys fought well, and obviously as we talk about rivalry,
yeah,
obviously hope it does happen because we get another opportunity to go against each other, and I'm looking forward to that battle again when we come back over to India.
yeah,
Um, because they're the series that people don't realize. They're the ones that you like. Basically, you're not how do you say it? You're not meant to win those series when you go away to an opposition country. You're the
yeah,
underdog.
yeah,
You're prepared to put up a great battle, but
yeah.
when you do win those, it means so much more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that I wanted to ask you. It's I'm sure it must be really really hard for you to be away from the game during that phase. Um, but you made a great comeback after that. Since IPL, that was the first tournament you played after that. And
Yep.
if I remember, you had solid impact when you left for the World Cup preparation, and then the World Cup, and then obviously Ashes didn't go, but you got a highest score for Australian. No, not the highest, the second highest. Hayden, how
Yeah, I think
much?
that's yeah. Hayden Heist.
329.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
At
so
the
I mean,
Wacker, he didn't.
yeah,
He didn't run much.
yeah, I remember that. But anyway, I mean, it's been a great comeback for you. Mentally, it must be tough, challenging to get through that phase and then to come out and perform the way you have in IPL, World Cup, and thereafter. What sort of things you were doing? I heard. I mean, we heard that you were not allowed to even practice to go to training. So it was damn tough, man. It's just
Yeah.
how did you manage that period for you?
It was challenging. The first sort of I'll say 3 months, I didn't pick up a cricket bat. I just said, right, well, I'll just enjoy the time I have with the family.
Yeah,
Do what I can to sort of keep motivated. Having it taken away from you and out of your control, and as you said, not being able to practice. It was a time for me to sit back and just enjoy family time.
yeah,
I really enjoyed that, and as I am at the moment, we don't get breaks. We don't get to put our hand up and say, "I want a month off," because it's not possible. You
yeah,
know, we we try we try to play all three forms as much as we can.
yeah,
Um, I saw that there was a tournament in Canada that was happening, so I thought it was a good opportunity to go there and play some decent cricket amongst some great players. A lot of the West Indian players were there.
yeah,
Steve came and played, so I had that there, and I had the Bangladesh Premier League as well
yeah,
to look forward to. But I think just spending the time at home and and working on like my fitness, I literally just I stayed on top of my fitness. I didn't pick up a cricket bat, and I think the longevity now has helped me. I think, having the time off has furthered my career probably 2 years, maybe.
Wow, that's great.
As you said before, like, three daughters, you got a daughter. People don't understand. We do have one of the best jobs in the world. We love playing cricket, but the
Yeah,
challenges we face are, leaving the family at home, the wife to look after the kids all the time. It's not fair. And for us, it's about, you know, leaving the game in the right way.
yeah,
For the next kid to come through and take our position and leave the legacy that they want for Australian cricket or Indian cricket. And we have all these other tournaments we can move on to. Once we're done with our international career, we can keep playing IPL. We can keep playing in the Big Bash here and whatever other leagues there are, because it's great to keep us in the game at this age moving forward, and it's
yeah,
great for the young guys to come through and move our international cricket on as well. So, but yeah, to sort of summarize, that was just more keeping on top of my fitness, spending time at home, and having that drive and passion to come back and say, look, I still belong here, and I deserve the opportunity again to come back to play for my country, because everyone makes mistakes at the end of the day. And
yeah, absolutely.
to come back and we always talk about, people like to knock people down, bring them back again, and it just has that ebb and flow kind of thing to it. But it's been good. That IPL was one of the things where I enjoyed, was coming back, not having to captain, and being under Kane, who's one of the nicest blokes in the world,
Yeah,
and seeing his knowledge about the game and how he reads the game.
yeah,
Um, it was good in that sense as well, because I got to just enjoy the game, which
yeah,
it's sort of, people don't realize the pressures that actually come with performing in every single game that you play, whether it's for Australia, India, IPL franchises, or the hardest thing I find back playing is like domestic cricket, like same as you, Ranji Trophy, because there's
yeah,
more focus on you. You play for your country, where you should be dominating state cricket, which
yeah,
you should be, but sometimes you're not going to be able to.
yeah.
It's very difficult. Like, some of the guys you've never faced before, never seen before, you can get a good ball.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
especially after playing so much international cricket, you have to go back and play state cricket. It's kind of, challenging for you to pick up and be motivated to go and perform. It's not that
Yeah,
easy, because you're always used to playing under the high pressure situation with so many people watching you in the stands, uh, and suddenly that being taken out, it's kind of challenging, and it's little, you got to find motivation to go out there and play, which
yeah,
is why you do you try and not get dropped from the squad. That's what happens. If
yeah,
in India, I don't know about Australia. Australia, like, a lot of you guys still, while you're playing for the national team, you still go and play domestic cricket. But for us here, it's very tough to play domestic cricket, because our domestic season and international calendars, they're together. So we really
yeah,
can't play domestic cricket unless you're dropped from the team. Only then
yeah,
you have chance to go back and play.
yeah.
Um, Speaking of this empty stands, you guys were the only team who experienced that against New Zealand. The first ODI you guys played, it was in empty stands. How did that feel? I think this is going to be the future of cricket, at least for a while.
The most bizarre thing was, as a batsman, when you play a shot or the bowler bowls the ball, you always look up to watch the replay. There was
Yeah,
no replays.
yeah,
There was
that's
nothing.
true. Yeah, yeah,
So you hit a shot, and all you hear is the echo of the cricket ball, and
yes,
then you might hear one or two claps from the boys. But
yeah,
it was really bizarre. Like, we're so used to calling yes, no, and I was like, you don't need to say it that loud anymore. Like, it's like yes,
yeah,
mate. But
yeah,
it was really really bizarre. It was literally like we were playing a warm up game. Like, it was really surreal. It was it, it wasn't hard to get up and play it, but like, it was more the fact that, like, you're like, how do you know what it's like at home watching the game? Like, it was really, really bizarre. But it was a good game that we played against each other. But I don't know how long you can sort of sustain that because you you gain your you gain momentum from home crowd advantage. You gain your momentum from, when you hit a nice shot, the clapping from the crowd, it gives you that motivation,
Yeah.
and gives you the adrenaline. It is so bizarre, and like now our rugby league is starting up again, and they're playing in front of no crowds as well. You know, I watched a couple of games before on TV before it got shut down. It's just weird watching.
Yeah.
It's really weird. So like, it's very hard. I don't know what it's going to be like if we come there and the IPL goes ahead at the end of the year. Um, you got to be very, the government's doing this for the right reasons. Obviously,
Yeah.
lives are being lost. It's not like, they're not saying don't go outside because, they just don't want you to get infected. They don't want you to catch it. They don't want you to spread it.
Yeah.
Um, and like here, a lot of the people have been listening, and there's a lot of people who haven't been listening.
Yeah. It's the
So it's
same
challenging.
situation in India as well. And we've got so many people here. That's very hard, and it's very hard to control everybody. Like you saw what happened outside the liquor shop. Um,
I
but
saw
yeah,
police making people do push-ups in the street.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they're finding ways to scare people. Like like that is one of the things that they did. The other thing they did was chopped off someone's head with the razor. When took him, made him absolutely bald. So they're doing different kind of like all this weird kind of stuff to make people scared. But eventually, it's our responsibility to make sure that just try and stay indoors. And the only way we can contain this is by doing that. There is no other
Yeah,
way
exactly.
until we find a cure or a medicine for this. We got to
Yeah,
stay indoors. I mean, that's really the only thing we.
exactly. I got one question with Shika. Does he make you face the first ball?
He is an idiot. What can I say? He doesn't like it, man. He doesn't like to face the first ball.
He always says to me, the
Yeah,
only time he ever wanted to face the first ball was when Harbhajan was bowling.
yeah.
He
He
goes,
likes
he
to
goes,
take on the spinners, but he doesn't like to take on the fast bowlers. Uh, but
I
yeah,
was
I mean,
like, same as
I
Finchy.
remember.
Finchy always makes me face the first ball.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's the same here. I remember there was this. This was way back in 2013, the day when I started opening the batting for India in limited overs. It was my first game as an opener, second game as an opener uh, in Champions Trophy. And Shikhar, I asked Shikhar, okay, Shikhar, we're playing against South Africa, guys like Steyn, Morkel. I've never faced them with the new ball. Okay, so you got to take the strike, man. He's like, no, Rohit. I mean, you've been playing for a while. This is my first tour. I mean, I want to. I can't. I mean, you got to do it. I said, really? The guy who's a regular opener doesn't want to take the strike, and he wants me to take the strike. And then I took the strike. The first few balls, Morkel bowled. Morne Morkel
Quick.
was, yeah, he was bowling the new ball. The first three balls, I didn't see the first three balls, honestly, because I was not expecting the bounce.
Yeah,
I was not ready for it, and I don't know how the new ball will do.
yeah,
Especially in England. And if I remember, it was absolutely cold that day as well.
yeah.
But then that was my first experience with Shikhar. But now, yeah, we're comfortable, like shit, talking
Because that's
about okay, if I have
Finchy
told him,
always says to me. Like he says, if it's a left arm fast bowler, he wants me to face because he doesn't want the ball coming back into him.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
the same thing for me. I don't want the ball swinging away from me
yeah. I mean,
because we're not
I
used to it.
yeah, I mean, especially now, I in Mumbai Indians, I open with Quinton de Kock, and he's brilliant. He told me the first day, okay, here's the deal. We will do it alternate games. Okay, that's fair. I mean,
Yeah,
alternate games. Okay, you take one game, I will take one game. That's fine. I mean,
yeah,
that's more than enough. But I mean, I'm used to it now. I take the first ball every time. So for me, right now, it doesn't make a difference. But Imagine the first time I was opening the batting, and then this guy comes and says, "No, I can't take the strike." I mean, sometimes, he's very annoying as well. Like in the middle, I'm setting up the plan. Okay, this guy is bowling, and this is his plan. We have to try and do this. 5 seconds later, he goes, "Okay, what did you say?" I mean, imagine, you're under tremendous pressure. You're in the middle of the game, and then this guy comes and says all these things where, it kind of makes you frustrated. You don't know how to react to that.
One thing I always love batting when I was batting with Shika. Without fail, last ball, he's going to run a single.
Yeah. Yes,
Without fail. First ball and last ball, he will run no matter what. Yeah. And it's always like a little dab to point.
Yeah. And he's got that weird thing where when he defends the ball, he takes that 1 or 2 steps and then he goes.
You think he's going to run?
Yeah.
You think he's going to run?
For a non-striker, it's so confusing whether he's going to run or not. So now I've decided, over the years batting with him, I've decided I'm not going to run unless I see the ball, it's going in the gap. I have missed many runs also doing that. But I have no regret because, I was in trouble many a times because of that. I said, boss, unless I see the ball going in between, I'm not running.
I'm glad that you said that because I was like, when I was batting with him at Hyderabad, I was like, I hope someone can say the same thing. It's very hard to judge. Very hard to judge. Unless he hit an aerial, I wasn't running. I couldn't run.
Yeah, I mean, we've not ran out each other so many times.
It was very similar batting with GG. GG was the same.
Yeah, he
always look to run the third man, or he'll run. Sometimes, you know what it is? If they hit a good shot out of the middle, they'll run.
Yeah. But I mean, I enjoy batting with him. The only reason is like he's so elegant on the offside, and he likes to take on the bowlers with the new ball, and that allows me to take time because naturally I'm not an opener. So for me to find boundaries in the first 10 overs is not easy, which is why at times you see I like to go aerial and play those cross-batted shot, which has gotten me into trouble many a times. But Shikhar, on the other hand, he's so good with his hands on the offside, and he if you look at the average boundaries that he hits, it's in the first 10 overs.
Yeah.
When the fielders are in, and he likes to do that. And I'm the opposite. I like once the field is spread, and I can take singles, and it makes my job easier as well when I'm batting with him. So in a way, he's a little irritating, but at the same time, he's done my job also. So I'm happy.
No, exactly. And that's one thing I liked about with him is he can relieve pressure in the matter of 2 or 3 balls, always, because he's always looking to score.
Yeah, that's his mindset. With you've been with Sunriser for a lot of years now. How it has been now? You've been appointed as a captain again. How's the franchisee? How's the owners? Do they put too much pressure of winning games? And is it like the same? With us, there is pressure for sure.
Yeah.
But that pressure, I think, as of now, I mean, we've started enjoying that pressure, and we know how to handle that. Is it the same for you guys as well there?
Yeah, I think early days, I think the hardest thing as I think a franchise owner, because they're so successful in their right, in what they do, they're very successful.
Yeah.
For them to understand how a cricketer goes about their business, about their training, some days, we're going to be waking up sore. How do you like transfer the training onto the field? You can't win every game. It's not possible to win every game. You might, but they've gotten so much better over the years I've been there. Like the last 3 or 4 years, minus the year that I was out, they've been wonderful. Like they understand exactly how we go about our business. You always have the questions of, why, what went wrong. You always have your debriefs. And like at the end of the day, they're a great family. They're a very well-respected family. I can't speak highly enough of the chairman and his wife and his daughter. Like
Yeah.
they always make us feel welcome. And I think that's the best thing about when you go to a successful franchise is that you feel like you're part of the furniture, like you're a
Yeah.
family. You
Yeah.
know, I know when I was at Delhi, I really enjoyed Kieran was the owner from GMR.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful guy, really
Yeah.
wonderful guy.
Yeah.
But sometimes in the back part of the business, you get a couple of people who might ruffle the feathers a little bit
Yeah.
and cause some like animosity between players. And you can only play 4 overseas, so the hardest thing is if you've got a couple of overseas who believe they should be playing when you got a team who's been picked, you should be supporting the team. I know
Yeah.
in past teams that I've played in have been like a bit like, I should have been playing. But it's like, hang on, the franchise can only pick 4 players. It's very difficult. So having been with Sunrisers, they totally understand everything. And I can't speak highly enough of them because they've treated me and my family well. They treat the guys well.
Yeah.
And I think the respect that I have for them, obviously asking me to be captain again,
Yeah.
because I had so much respect for their decision last year because it was right. They just wanted me to play with no pressure, freedom, and
Yeah.
and do what I do best, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And like, I actually watched the Mumbai Indians documentary, and look, I can say it as well, being through this test series that was on Amazon, it
Yeah.
does become um, a bit claustrophobic because the camera's around all the time. So
Yeah.
you've got to be careful sometimes with, what you say, how you behave.
Yeah.
There's been games where I've come in, I've thrown my bat and, broken the chair.
Yeah.
You obviously you can't do that. But we get angry. Like we got out. We're angry at the way that we got out.
Yeah.
But, I love that series and I could see the passion from your owners, and the son, he makes me laugh
Yeah.
because he's so passionate and driven for
Yeah.
success. And
It's
that's
quite.
why, and it reflects down on the players as well. And it
Yeah.
helps, it obviously must help having Sachin around as well. For younger guys to see Sachin, to speak to him, to be in the same change room, like, man, that's a big, big thing.
Yeah.
And that must motivate a lot of the guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what IPL has brought to the table, like especially for the younger guys who, besides playing for their state team, they get to rub shoulders in IPL with all the international players, with all these big names in Indian cricket as well. So that is one thing that they've done really well. And I
Sorry,
really
Charles just said, I've got patience watching the documentary.
I was waiting for his comment to come because honestly, I was a little surprised that he hasn't commented on it yet. There he is now.
Him and his TikToks as well.
Who in your team is like Chahal? You know what I mean?
Oh, Khalil. He does not listen. He does not. He might as well walk around with the phone taped on his head.
Oh, these guys are crazy.
But yeah, as you were saying.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what IPL has done, bringing all these players together. It gives them a great opportunity. And when I talk to them now, all these younger players, they seem to be so confident about their game, about what they want to do. So it's in a way, it has done wonders over the years. And I think,
Yeah.
I really hope that this pandemic, stops pretty soon, and then we get to do what we love and start playing cricket again.
There was someone before, they said something about we're no Smith and Kohli. But at the end of the day, we make Smith and Kohli because we take the shine off the ball.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's the hardest job in the world. It's like being president or prime minister. You open the batting. You're like guinea pigs.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people also tell me that because the reason you have scored double hundred is because you open the batting, but they don't understand what happens with it when the conditions are tough, when you have to face guys like all these guys who bowl 150 plus. It's not easy. I mean, whatever we try and do is in the best interest, and also, I mean, any position you bat, it brings the own challenge. Whether you open the batting, you bat number 3, 4, 5, and there onwards, it's a different challenge. But
What was going through, what goes through your mind? I haven't scored a double hundred in one day cricket, but do you get to a point where you just go, all right, I'm just going to try and hit every ball for a boundary?
that's I don't do that quite often. But honestly speaking, I feel once I get past 100, I feel uh, I cannot really get out unless I
Yeah,
make a
yeah,
mistake.
yeah,
Because when you obviously when you have scored 100, you've obviously put pressure on the bowlers. You are seeing the ball nicely. You are aware of the conditions, and you know who's not in great form in terms of the
yeah,
bowling options at that point.
yeah,
So you know all of that. So you try and figure out your way and just try and get through that 10, 15, 20 runs, uh, and then there onwards from there. I feel
yeah,
I've always talked to myself that you can't get out unless you make a mistake. So you just make sure that any bowlers who's bowling at you, you just try and find boundaries rather than hitting big shots. Boundaries are as good. So I try and hit boundaries rather than hit sixes and try and hit big shots. I mean, I also know that I'm not such a powerful hitter. It's better for me to pierce the field rather than clear the field.
yeah,
So these are the options I calculate, I analyze a little bit, and then sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
yeah. And which don't be biased here, but where's your favorite Indian place to bat? Which Indian ground? You're playing 2020 cricket. You're not playing test matches or anything like that.
I mean, I have great record at Eden Gardens for sure.
Yeah.
So I would say Eden Gardens because all the memories, important memories have come at Eden Gardens. Like my first uh, IPL 100 is at Eden Gardens. My 264 when I scored was at Eden Gardens. My first Test century is at Eden Gardens. So I actually love playing at Eden Gardens. It's just got something different about that place. The outfield is really fast, uh,
Oof,
and it's a paradise to bat.
that
I
ground
love
is something special.
Yeah, and I love batting in Melbourne as well. I love that atmosphere. The
Melbourne's good.
whole stadium itself. I just love it. I just love that.
Yeah. It's a, I love batting there under lights because you got like all the lights just shining down on you. And it's
Yeah,
like, it actually feels like you can't get out. Now that's how you feel when you're out there. It's a beautiful place to play cricket. But like in India, like I can't go past like Dharamshala is one of the most picturesque places I've ever played cricket. Like that test
yeah,
match, we played the test match there. Like I was like, I could sit here for weeks. It's so peaceful. It's calming. It's like it's like you're not. It's like you're not in India. Like it's crazy. It's like you're
yeah.
in
It's sometimes you
Switzerland
feel
or
that.
something.
Yeah, you feel that way sometimes because how beautiful it is, and especially the mountains and all that behind the stadium. It's just unreal sometimes.
Keep on here, keep saying RCB gonna win. RCB gonna win.
I don't know about that. I mean,
I tell you
uh,
what, they've had the best. I think honestly, they've probably had the best team for 10 years.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we honestly speaking, we sit and plan for RCB more than any other team because of their
Agree.
batting lineup. I
Yep.
mean, their batting lineup is just unreal, man. To have that batting lineup, our meeting finished. I mean, it goes up for a couple of hours, especially when we
Yeah.
play against them. So yeah, it's been unfortunate, but I think they've got balance this year. That's the reason. I mean, I was looking forward for this year because all the teams, if you look at it, they've got great buys this year. You know,
Yeah.
uh, so
This is
I
very very
was
good.
yeah. So I was sitting and analyzing about all the composition of the different squads. All the teams they look very much in balance. Uh, and yeah, I mean that's something that we can hope for the IPL to happen, and we'll see, what the players and
Do you
all can
reckon
do.
do you reckon ever will there be a chance to play five overseas?
Yeah, they might do that. I'm
If you
hearing
add
about,
2 more teams, I think you have to. But if
yeah, I mean,
add more,
five overseas will, it'll be,
sorry,
it'll be,
that pause.
it'll be different, but yeah, when probably they add two more teams, it'll be nice
Yeah,
to have them. Yeah.
yeah, that'd be good. I know in the Big Bash here they're talking about another overseas player, but it's very challenging because you have your players that are coming through
Yeah.
as well. So you have to give the opportunities to obviously the local players. But if you add 2 more teams, it's very difficult because I remember last time when we had 2 new teams, you you want to strengthen the competition. So you got to have your best players spread out all the teams as well.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. I think
like here in Big Bash, we're not available all the time either.
yeah.
So it's very difficult. It's very
When do you
difficult.
think your borders will open up? When do you think you guys will be allowed to start traveling outside?
I
Because
think I
if
think for
I'm being
business you probably can. For business you can, but I think
sports,
you have to come back and
yeah,
still do the 14-day quarantine.
yeah.
But I think if you go overseas, it's for business travel. It's recommended that you don't, but they will be doing something where they can put parameters in place for those who are actually going overseas.
So let's say if we guys want you over for IPL in September or October, whether will you guys will be able to travel around that time?
I'll just make a phone call to the Prime Minister and ask.
Hope that happens.
No, look, I think all in honesty, um, at the moment, everything is becoming better. We
Yeah,
haven't, I, there's been a lot of deaths out of a nursing home, which is very, very sad. And I feel for what's happened there, not just for what with the deaths, but how it occurred. And we had a ship that came in, and that created a big, big issue. But everything has been controlled. The frontline workers have been doing outstanding work. But I think as each week happens, they're releasing a couple of more things. So we can have 10 people now in a gathering, I think, this week. Not sure about my state or Melbourne, but I think in probably 2 months' time, it will increase again.
yeah.
And I think the international flights out will probably happen potentially, but international flights coming in, I'm not sure. I don't know. I cannot believe what's happened. I'm sitting here
Yeah,
today still scratching my head going, this has stopped the whole entire world. And this is bigger than, it's obviously bigger than sport, and that's crazy. But like, I still can't believe it. Like, I just don't know how this has happened. But I don't think we'll ever know.
I mean, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. All the sports across the world are resuming. I hope it's the same for cricket as well because football, like you said, rugby in Australia is going to start pretty soon. Football in Europe is starting pretty soon. So I hope in few months' time we see cricket as well. Let's hope. Fingers crossed.
Exactly. Well, mate, you know what? We've been talking for almost an
More,
hour now.
it's
We
actually
can,
yeah.
mate, we could talk all day, but I'll let you go. It's been great talking to you, man.
Same
It's great
here.
to see you, and hopefully we're over there soon before you guys come here. But hope everyone keeps safe down there.
Same from my side as well. Look after your family,
Yep.
and we shall see soon.
Likewise, mate. Take care. See you, buddy.
Cheers. Thanks, David.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Great conversation there between me and Rohit. I think it was the hit bull you guys said. Take care. See you later.